Good afternoon and welcome back to the afternoon segment, World Skills Barbados 2020, day 3 of competition. Lots of action this morning. We're going to bring some interviews, some highlights to you, cooking, restaurant services about to start, hairdressing, graphic design, and fashion tech. And those cars are being sorted out at Simpson Motors. We're going to run into some interviews now and we'll be right back at you.
My name is Louis Worrell. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently competing in the cooking section. I represent the Barbados Community College Hospitality Institute. I am currently pursuing an associate degree in culinary arts. I enrolled in culinary arts because I am passionate about cooking and also because it aligns with my career goals. I learned about the World Skills competition through my tutors here at the Barbados Community College. They made it known that it was a very good competition to get in due to the fact that there's a lot of knowledge to be gained, and I thought it to be very useful, so I joined immediately. My training for the competition thus far has been tedious but good at the same time. COVID-19 has affected our preparation because it more emphasizes the fact that we have to compete and be at internationally hygienic standards, so thus it's better. Participating in the competition is helping me to develop because I'm being forced to work at internationally recognized standards, and it's also helping me to build up as a man on an interpersonal level. At the World Skills 2020 competition, I see myself doing to the best of my ability, and in doing that, I believe that I will be a medalist. After the World Skills Barbados 2020 competition, I intend to use the knowledge that I have gathered and apply it into the real world as a chef and as a man. My future career goals is to be an entrepreneur and an internationally recognized chef, and to use this platform to then get into the world of business. The competition has assisted me in working towards my career goals because we have done some courses that build your interpersonal skills, and those interpersonal skills can be used in the real world, and it's also given us a wealth of knowledge from different religions, ethnicities, and cultures. To all future World Skill competitors, I would say to be confident, do your homework, and execute. As a student enrolled in a TVET institution, I believe that there must be more scholarships and opportunities available, but I do believe that we are given a nice platform, a nice foundation to build upon for the future.
World skills for young and proud Bajans. World skills, creativity and innovation. World skills, that shape our world-class workforce today. Be leaders in all we do. Building up our economy, Barbados we will improve. World skills, 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 world skills.
Welcome back to day 3 of the World Skills Barbados 2020 competition. I'm Katrina King. And with me today, we have the skills advisor for the cooking segment, Chef Peter Eady. Hi, Peter.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Well, I would like you to tell us a little bit. We have the finished dishes for the first half of the competition. Could you tell us a little bit about the dishes that we have here today?
Right. I just said this is the finish for the morning session. So there are 2 sessions, 10 students, 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon. So this is the morning session, and today is our 3rd module. Of course, you know the program is 4 modules. The first one was soup, second one was the meat, third today, which is fish, and tomorrow, of course, we have the dessert, which one you'll be excited about, right? Tomorrow's the dessert section. So what you're seeing here is the result of today's 3 hours and 30 minutes cooking. And this is from group 1. And then today they were asked to prepare a fish, a mystery fish. The fish they got was a snapper. They got 2 whole snappers, and they're supposed to produce 4 plates from those 2 snappers. So we are therefore looking for a number of skills. We're looking for the filleting skills. So for sure, you have 2 fish, you have 4 plates, so you certainly can't put them on the plate whole. There's only 2, right? So you have so you're forced to fillet the fish. So you're looking for your filleting skills. If you identify the right knives to use, if you're using it correctly, if you're going to give me a nice fillet of fish, which is a nice clean piece of fish, or you're going to give me a chunk up like minced meat, right? So the skills you're looking for at that point. You were told then to have on the plate 3 vegetables, three types of vegetables, two different vegetables, one starch, and a minimum of one sauce of your choice. The sauce, of course, must, no, but this one, the sauce wasn't an option. The sauce was supposed to be a butter sauce, right? And like someone asked me this morning, you're talking about the old butter sauce that Granny used to make? Absolutely not. Not a greasy-looking butter sauce like that. This is a butter sauce that has to be emulsified. So the skill you're looking for there is the skill how to, if you know to emulsify the sauces. Now you know what an emulsion is, right? Getting two liquids that would not normally stay together to stay together. In this case, it is butter and acids, whether it's white lime juice, whether it's vinegar, and that what you're seeing here is the result of that.
Well, you would have talked about the technical skills we're going to be analyzing today. What do you think about the performance of the competitors thus far with regards to the skills that they've used and the technicalities of it all?
Okay, what I'm seeing from the competitors today, and matter of fact, the whole week, some enthusiastic a really enthusiastic young group, between the ages of 18 and 21. They're really very hungry. I like that, hungry for the knowledge in the area, and they're really serious about this industry. But I sadly have to say that the skills really need, if you're going to reach world skills standard, the skills need a lot of work, right? If you look at the plates, I mean, if you, at first glance you'll say, oh, these are nice looking plates. But when you think about it, if you're a chef and you're in competition, it's back to the old type of plates that we had in competitions and we still have today in a normal look good, taste good competition. So the things in here might taste really good, and then if you look at them, there's not really a lot done. You can't look on the plate and immediately see the skills on the plate. For instance, all the vegetables. Like if you take, for instance, this one, the vegetables are cut and put on the plate, but for this competition, which is a skills competition, each one of those vegetables should have some intricate work should have been done to them individually, and then they're placed on the plate where they can be seen immediately, right? And that is what we'll be looking for. They were also asked to do a pasta, a stuffed pasta, to accompany the fish dish. You can see the pasta on the plates here, but look at all of them. Just like a simple ravioli, let's say. If you want a stuffed pasta, you should have rolled that pasta out, or had to make the pasta as well, yeah? So you should have rolled it out really thin, make a really well-seasoned and well-spiced filling, and then make some sort of shape with it. And it's a garnish, it's a pasta garnish, not just like that, right? So it really and truly, when you look at the plate in a skills competition, a lot of these skills are not showing there. But I understand where the students are at this time. Having said that, they are in a school where really this kind of competition is not practiced. Because if you understand my trade, it's a skills competition rather than a look good, taste good competition. See the plate, it looks good, it tastes good, you might win. As in this competition, the best looking plate or the best tasting plate may not necessarily win. And most of the time, don't win. What they're looking for is if all of the skills are exhibited on the plate. The knife skills, the cooking skills. We're talking about frying here. And if you look at that, these are all fried. Look at this one and that one, and then look at this and that. They're all different colors, correct? Now the judge will look at this and say, okay, I can see which one applied the correct temperature for frying fish. Because look at this, you can see this is way too much. This is ravioli, again, way too much. This one over there again is maybe too much as well. But then you get this one, and this is closer to what you're looking for. You're looking for a nice golden brown. Okay? So those are the things to look for at the end of the day. Right?
You would have been here from day one. What are your thoughts on the progression that we're seeing, the improvement that we're seeing? Although there are some flaws, what are your thoughts on the improvement that we're seeing amongst the competitors?
Well, as I said, the hunger is there. So, you know, they're getting to understand now. Now they're actually in the competition. Every day we do the opening, briefing with them and things like that, and then we do the recap after. They're getting more to understand what is expected of them. They were given a test project. But even though they were given a test project, it still takes a little bit of time to depart from that old way of thinking as far as competition is concerned to come into the new era of competition, being a skills competition, all right? So this is the competition you will see if you go to any international young persons competition or young cooks competition. They want to see how good your skills are. They just want to see how well you can put it on the plate, or if you can get it done on time. That's important as well too, but they want to see the skills shown on the plate in your presentation as well.
Well, coming up next, we have another group joining doing their segment in the competition. What do you hope to see from them in this group?
This group is, hold on a second. 15 minutes to skills test. 15 minutes to skills test. You're finished? Can you come over to him, please? Thank you. All right, sorry. That's they have the skills test as well. Every day they get what's called a skills test. We are given something you have to execute within the first 30 minutes of competition. Today's skills test is eggs, boiled eggs. So you have to do a perfectly cooked soft-boiled egg and a perfectly cooked hard-boiled egg. The soft-boiled egg must be placed in an egg cup and the top taken off so the judge can look in it and see if it's perfectly soft-boiled. The hard-boiled egg must be totally skinned and placed on the plate. Now, you might say, easy job, isn't it? Soft-boiled egg and hard-boiled egg, you do that every morning for breakfast, right? Not exactly. See, for the soft-boiled egg to be perfectly cooked, you need to have the white totally cooked and none of the yolk set. Okay? So now you need to understand time and temperature. As the person executing that, you need to understand, because cooking is all about time and temperature. The amount of time you apply the temperature to something to get the required result. That's what cooking is about. So it tells you if you understand time and temperature. So I'm sure you're going to see here some of the eggs come up there with the egg white still runny, and nobody wants a runny egg white. They don't mind the runny egg yolk because that's accepted, but then they don't want the runny egg white. And they don't want to see a hard-boiled egg where the yolk starts to discolor. That means you're going way over. Or you don't want to see a hard-boiled egg, and when you cut it, the center of it is still soft. You're a little under. So you see that? Now, the balance here is to get it perfect. And that's where the challenge is and where the skill comes in that part. So they had 30 minutes to execute that. So just give them a time check there, how much time they have left. So if they don't produce that within the first 30 minutes, you're not scored on that. And that's not a good place to be. You get no marks for that much part of it, right? So that's what happens. That's what it is.
Okay, tomorrow we are going to be delving into pastries and desserts, my personal favorite because I have a sweet tooth. Well, could you tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to see differently tomorrow?
You know, tomorrow is going to be exciting for me because our weakest area in cuisine is pastry. We do not have a lot of good pastry. Yeah, we got a lot of people that make sweet stuff. They make sweet stuff, that's what they do. But when you're talking about pastry and technical pastry stuff, we don't get a lot of good pastry in Barbados at all. All right? So tomorrow is all about the understanding of the pastry skills. The two things you're going to be given tomorrow is a mystery nut and a mystery fruit. So how you prepare that nut and how you include it into your dessert, your dessert or cake or whatever you're going to make, and how you prepare that fruit and how you include it is going to be very, very important. Now you have to understand nuts, you have to understand fruit to get it mixed into your finished dish. Okay? And of course they all have to be cooked. So it isn't like go crack some nuts and sprinkle it on top. That's the nut right there. All right? You have to do some work with that nut. Okay? With the nuts. I could tell you now it's going to be cashew nuts. They don't know yet, but it's cashew nuts.
Secret just between me and you
There
then.
you go, yes. So they have to do something with that. Yeah? Yeah.
Well, with regards to using fruits, what about locally grown fruits, locally grown items? Like, what are your thoughts on incorporating our indigenous items into desserts and marketing them not only within the tourism area, but locally?
And we do that a lot in cooking now, but the problem with that is all of our fruits are very seasonal. So it's difficult to include them on the menu and say, well, I'm going to have this, I'm going to put this on my menu and it's available all the time because they're very, very seasonal, right? And then the standard always tends to be kind of inconsistent, right? So it is really difficult to put on a menu and trust that you're going to get the same thing every time. But we do, a lot of chefs, local chefs use the local things as available. So if you put it on your menu, you have to put seasonal or as available. That really don't look so good on the menu. You put something in the menu, you want to know when you turn up, it's going to be there next time, right? Next time is a hit or miss. That's the problem with it. But there's again, working with fruits is working with fruit. It's understanding the science, the whole chemistry of the fruit. If it's a fibrous fruit, if it's a creamy fruit, that's what you need to know. The technique is how do you deal with a fibrous fruit? How do you deal with a nut? How do you do that? Once you understand that, then you can deal with any type of fruit, whether it's local or international.
I think one thing people have to remember that food is also a science.
It is one of the biggest science. I always tell my students, and every time I make sure I let them know this when they start. This is the best and the most challenging profession in the world. Don't mind everybody think they can cook and everybody think they're a chef. The chef industry is the only industry in the world where you are required to have control over every one of your senses. Think about it. There isn't any one of your senses you don't use. Touch, sight, smell, sound, taste. Tell me the one you don't use in cooking, right? you could go and study to be a rocket scientist. You don't got to taste nothing. I almost say something else, but you ain't got to taste a thing, right? You're there, you know? So but in cooking, you need to be able to have some control over every one of them. So you understand when you're in the kitchen every day, all of these senses are activated. All these senses, 10 minutes, guys. All these senses are activated, right? So that's the way cooking is. And because everybody can put some food, put something in the pot and cook it, they think that cooking is just that. So far from it. When you go to become a chef, that's when it's studying science, it's studying all sorts of different things in there, right? And costing and controlling, time management, all these things come in. If you really talk about meat, you have to think about the structure of the animal, right? All these things you got to study. So it's a lot. There's a lot involved in becoming a chef. When they talk becoming a chef, I'm talking about a certified chef now who had gone to school and did all the training to become that chef, not a person who just calls himself a chef, okay? Because you got to be careful with that, right? And the way the international world is going now, you need qualifications. You need to be certified because that way the employers know that you've gone to school and all of these things that you're required to know as a chef, you would have been taught.
Yeah. That's why it's important to have programs such as the World Skills Barbados competition.
Exactly. Yeah. This is actually one of the best competitions you will ever enter. I'm telling you that now. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your insight, Mr. Chef Edie. I'm Katrina King, and tune in to the next segment of World Skills Barbados 2020.
My name is Brittany Graves. I am 20 years old and I am competing in the area of cooking. I represent the SJPI. My program of study is the Diploma in Home Economics. I decided to enroll in the Diploma in Home Economics after being home for a little while, and I found myself drawn to the kitchen. I didn't do it home at secondary school, so I decided to come and further my studies. I learned about world skills through my instructor, Ms. Celia Hinkson. I decided to enter because I thought it was a good opportunity for exposure. All I can say about my preparation is that I practice. When COVID first started, it was a little depressing because I wasn't sure if we'd be able to get back out in time to still have the program. But then as we came back out into school, it changed my perspective, and with work and stuff, it has gotten me back into the groove.
How has participating in the competition helped for the development of your personal and technical skills?
Well, personally, it has helped me with public speaking and how I carry myself. And technically, it has helped me because I learned my skills, plating skills, as well as garnishing. With the exposure I have had over the time, I think I have a high chance of medaling in the World Skills competition. After World Skills 2020, I plan on going to Canada to pursue a degree in food and product development. I would like to be a self-employed pastry chef.
As a student enrolled in a technical and vocational institution, how do you think you can be better prepared for the world of work?
Well, I think we get a lot of exposure because we do get job attachments after our courses, but the problem is we are not able to pursue a degree here in Barbados in the food industry. Any person wanting to enter the World Skills competition, I will tell them to go right ahead because it's a great experience as well as you get a lot of exposure.
World skills for young and proud Bajans. World skills, creativity and innovation. World skills, that shape our world-class workforce today. Be leaders in all we do. Building up our economy, Barbados we will improve. World skills, 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 world skills. skills for young and proud Bajans. World skills, creativity and innovation. World skills that shape our world-class workforce today. Be leaders in all we do. Building up our economy, Barbados, we will improve. World skills, world skills, world skills, world skills, world skills.
Hello and welcome to the 5th Biennial World Skills Barbados Competition. We are here at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center, LESC. You have the competition from November 19th to the 22nd. World Skills Barbados, through TVET Council, which is the member organization, we are members of World Skills International. We've been full members since 2017 and associate members since 2011. The World Skills Barbados program is a program geared to raising the level of the national TVET system. Right now, our TVET offerings, our skill-based qualifications, are at mostly level 2 to level 3. And by that I mean we have workers who are semi-skilled, who will work with little supervision, and then we have those at level 3 who are our technicians, our supervisors. But we really want to strive for skills excellence, and that's what World Skills is about. We want to create those innovators, we want to create those persons who will develop systems, not just fix or maintain systems, but we want persons who can develop and innovate. And that way, that's going to help drive the economy, because persons can then manufacture and create things, and then you can also export, create employment for persons. So that's what we are really about at World Skills Barbados and TVET Council. That's where the vision is going, and that's where the world is at, and we need to be there. So over the next 4 days of competition here at Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center, we will have fashion technology, graphic design technology, hairdressing, and of course in hospitality, cooking, and restaurant service. And at Simpson Motors, over the weekends, we're going to have car painting. The judges will be looking for the techniques that the competitors use, ensuring they use the correct processes, and of course, looking at that end product. How good does your food taste? How is your service in restaurant? How nice is that hairdo? How are those graphics? Is that ready for that IG poster? And of course, that new outfit to wear to the closing ceremony on December 1st, 2020. Our spectators, we're open to the public. You can come on in and see us, obviously observing the COVID-19 protocols, as these are the times that we're living in. But also, with thanks to the Media Resource Department, you can join us online at the Media Resource Department's YouTube channel and World Skills Barbados Facebook channel. The winners of the World Skills Barbados competition are eligible as long as they meet that criteria, in that they have to score 80% or more in the competitor developmental program and 75% or more in completing the technical skills here at Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. As long as they meet that criteria, they're eligible to represent Barbados at World Skills Americas. The date to be confirmed, obviously it's been postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And then World Skills International postponed to September 2022, which is going to give us more time to make sure that Barbados brings home gold. After doing some research about those countries that do well at World Skills International, we found that they have the secret to being the top performers at the World Skills International competition. We need to start training our young people earlier. So let's take, for instance, car painting. No secondary school in Barbados currently does car painting. But you can only do car painting when you reach 16 or when you leave secondary school and move on to the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology. We're saying that persons at 13 and 14 years old need to be involved in skill-based qualifications, not just those theoretical-based qualifications. Persons need to be in CBET, competence-based education and training in technical skills. That is the only way we are going to be able to compete with the rest of the world. And it goes twofold. When we start earlier, it means that just as if an individual went to secondary school, moved on to college or A-levels, and then on to the university, by 21, 22, they will have a degree level qualification. The same thing we are trying to promote with our technical qualifications. We need to make sure that our persons who are going through the TVET stream or the technical stream are able to achieve degree level qualifications here in Barbados and don't have to fly out and obviously pay a whole heap of money to do that. That's what we're really trying to do here in Barbados. Raise the level of the national TVET system. So you don't have to worry when you come into the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. You observe the COVID-19 protocols, obviously adhering to the rules of the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. We will have sanitizing stations throughout the competition. Thanks to one of our sponsors, we will also have sanitizing kits for each of the competitors and the judges. We will also sanitize at the end of every module, and at the end of every day, there will be full sanitizing of all workstations. So you don't have to worry. We will be following all of the COVID-19 protocols. So make sure that you come on down and join us. If for whatever reason you can't come to Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center, please join us online. As I said before, the Media Resource Department's YouTube channel or World Skills Barbados Facebook channel. See you there.
World skills, 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 world skills.
Hello and welcome to the hairdressing competition for World Skills Barbados 2020. Wait, don't move. Good to go.
Hi, and welcome back to the World Skills Barbados Competition 2020. I am here with
Samantha Jones, Technical Officer Communications at TVET Council.
okay,
Melissa Headley, one of the coaches for the candidates.
and as you can see behind me here, we have the hairdressing department. Now, tell me a little bit about how hairdressing can benefit in this competition.
From a competition such as this, well, at the TVET Council, we are responsible for overseeing education and training. We liaise with the training institutions such as the SJPI, where Melissa works, Barbados Vocational Training Board, Barbados Community College, BIMAP, and also with the private training institutions. And for us, we coordinate, and one of the ways in which we function is we develop standards. They're called occupational standards of competence. So occupational standards of competence speak to the knowledge and the skills that anyone has with regards to their area of work. And we develop those standards in collaboration with employers. And then when we liaise with the institutions, the standards are embedded into the curricula. Those are standards of competence. Everyone should be competent at the job or career that they have. The World Skills Competition takes it to a higher level. Their motto is promoting skills excellence. And what that means is they don't merely or want you to be only competent, they want you to be excellent. And how they do this is they develop international standards, which they get companies around the world and professionals and practitioners to help develop. And those standards are then sent globally for review. They're vetted. And once they're approved, the standards are used then for the same thing, education and training. As the representative at World Skills International, the TVET Council Barbados takes those standards and we liaise with the institutions to help embed those standards into the training, education and training curricula. That's at one level. At another level, the competition is almost like assessment, like examination. So we don't only focus on the input, which is using the standards for the training and for the education. We are also able, when we take part in the World Skills Barbados competition, the World Skills Americas competition, and then the World Skills International competition, to assess how the competitors and how the students are taking in the knowledge and the skills. We can benchmark what we do against other countries. So, for example, we went to World Skills International last year. World Skills Kazan 2019, it was in Russia. And it is really, I really wish I could take every Barbadian to that competition and see the seriousness and the kind of rigor that they bring to the competition. And it's not only at the competition. We know because of our involvement that the training and development is intense. And they do it not because it's a job, but they're very passionate about it. So I am glad that we here in Barbados have had a chance to benefit from that exposure. And also our training institutions, the instruction that the trainers are exposed to, and then when they pass it on to their students, that is some of the ways in which we develop excellence in Barbados in education and training.
Okay, that was a lot of information. Thank you for that. I'm moving on to one of the coaches now. I have a question for you. So, seeing as you're a coach, and we just heard Samantha say it's a very intense situation, what are you expecting to see from some of the competitors? Oh, go ahead.
Right.
What are you expecting to see from some of the competitors?
Well, as the lady here was saying before, I am expecting to see some of the standards showcase, right? Some of the, the training that they would have received. I'm looking to see them showcase that, right? Today and through to the rest of the end of the competition. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I was saying that I am expecting to see some of the training that these students would have received, that they will showcase some of that in the competition as we go closer to the end of the competition. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Talk about the quality of the mannequins that we're seeing behind here. What do you think about those?
The work that the students have done, I am comfortable that the students have done their best, They work through the processes in a way that is, I would say, is acceptable. And I just believe they're doing their best right now.
Okay, and how do you think that this competition can promote excellence throughout Barbados and worldwide?
Well, as the students work to the standards and so on, persons will get to see some of the skill areas coming out because as you look across Barbados, you look into the salons and different things, you get persons doing work and you seeing different things happening in the salons. But then when you get the training to the correct standards at the schools, at the schools and at the institutions, what's going to happen is that you're going to get better work coming out, right? Because then persons will get to understand that there's a standard that is set that you need to work towards, right, to put out good work.
Okay, and what would you say to others that are encouraging? What would you say to encourage others who are interested in this particular field to come out?
Well, whatever you are interested in and your heart is behind it, go after it. If it's hairdressing, go after it. If it's beauty, go after it because your skills can take you places, right? Your skills will make a way for you, but just put your mind to it, put your heart in it, and go for it.
Okay, now we know we're in COVID-19. How did the protocols and the COVID-19 affect you and your students?
Well, in terms of the protocols that are set out by government, the standards for the protocols, I find that it hasn't really been so much of a problem. The students, what I tell them to do is make sure they wear the disposable mask because some persons complain about the fabric is too thick, you can't breathe properly, but it's to protect you and it's to protect the persons around you. So things like wearing the mask, wearing the face shields and so on like that is important, right? Because we need to carry on with business. It's not business as usual, but it's a way that you can move forward. So it's the protocols you have to follow or it's nothing at all. So you can't make the hard choices. Follow the protocols and do what you need to do.
What are some of the changes that you had to make through this process?
You mean in the salons and stuff like that?
Yes, please, in terms of the fashion and hairdressing.
Well, in terms of fashion, and I can't speak so much about fashion, but
Hairdressing.
in terms of the hairdressing and stuff, if you're working in an environment where persons come and sit, where persons, they catch the bus and different things like that, you have to make sure that your furniture, all your shampoo chairs, your basins, everything like that, it's clean. You're gonna make sure that it's a fabric that can be wiped off. So fabric chairs and stuff like that, that's like a no-no at this time. You need to make sure you have chairs that you can wipe off properly. You got to clean down between clients. You got to question the clients and find out if they've had exposure to any person that has traveled, if they had cold and flu-like symptoms. So it's a challenging environment to work in. You had to make minor changes, but as standard, the salon is usually a clean place. The things that are required to be done during COVID-19 are things that hairdressers usually do, which is clean down, disinfect your combs, your brushes, your tools, wear aprons, those kind of things. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for talking with me. I appreciate it. Okay. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. We're still here with Chef Peter Edie. So, Mr. Edie, can you tell us a bit about what's happening now with the fish section?
Right. They've completed the skills test, so the 30 minutes is gone for that. They've completed the skill test. So those eggs gone to judging. They're judging that. Now they're filleting the fish. They're into the 3-hour stage now, preparing the plates. One fish, the four plates. Huh? So we should have a fish, 3 vegetables, 1 starch, and a minimum of 1 sauce. You can do more if you want, minimum of 1 though. So now they're filleting the fish. You have snapper, right? And now you have to take the snapper off the bone. You see over here, the guy is take the snapper off the bone. Now what they're looking for is to make sure you have that snapper, that fillet coming off as clean as possible, and making sure most of the meat remain on the flesh part, and there's very little left on the bone. So that's the skill, that's the technique they're looking for at this point, right? So it requires, of course, knowing the correct knife to use and knowing the correct way to apply the pressure to get that fish flesh off.
I know you just said there's a particular knife and a particular skill set to use, right? Can you give us a little bit more information on the tools used to make sure that we get the perfect slicing of the fish?
Correct. Now, if you realize that they've been given snapper, and that's by choice, because a snapper is a fairly delicate fish, so it's fairly unforgiving. You can't rip it, you can't pull it, you can't tug it. So now your knife skills must be very sharp. And your knife must be very sharp as well. And you have to choose your fish fillet knife, which is a flexible knife, because it has to have that plate to go around the fish bones and things like that. So you would not have told the competitor what knife to choose. I really and truly have seen some competitors, they're using the French cook knife, which is absolutely the wrong knife for this job. It's too hard, it's too rigid, it's too big. So that the competitors, the students are expected to know which tools to use for which job. So this one, it's definitely the fillet knife that you're seeing next door here. Yeah.
So in terms of the plating, what is the end result you're looking for from the dishes?
Well, they've been given certain skills they have to produce, and we're looking to see every one of those skills on the plate. So again, it's not like the most beautiful plate will win, not the most tasty plate will win. It's the one that has the best executional skills that you were asked to produce. Over the 4 days, there's a wide range of skills that you have to show over those 4 days, over a 4-day period. That's what makes this competition so tough. There's a whole range of skills that you have to show from, and the items chosen are definite items for purpose. So you had the soup for sure at first. You had to cut your vegetable cuts, brunoise and julienne and things like that. Then you had your egg test and all that skills. Just testing your skills all the way through. That's what it's all about.
So what ingredients are accompanying this fish as the final dish?
Well, the fish, you can choose which vegetables you want. You are given the option to choose which vegetables you want, which starch you want as well. You were given a mystery spice. So today, we kind of demystify the mystery for them. So I told them, you know what, any spice that is on the shelf you can use. I didn't select one for them. You know, that in itself threw them off a little bit, because now, I was been planning for something specific, but now it's all exposed to me. So on the spot, you need to make a decision. You need to make a decision now on the spot. So that threw a couple of them off as well, but you know, they're kind of recovering from it now.
I know you said the snapper is a very delicate fish. So what's the time frame for the preparation of this dish?
This module is 3.5 hours long. Well, it's 4 hours in total. 3.5 hours of cooking. Now, they're going to cook for 3 hours 25 minutes before the service window is open. The service window is when you are allowed to serve your 4 plates to the judges. That's called the service window. And it's open 5 minutes before 3.5 hours, and it remains open till 5 minutes after, which means, of course, you got 10 minutes to get your 4 plates plated up and served to the guests in that 10-minute period. You cannot send it to the judges before that 3 hours, 25 minutes. And if you get after the 3 hour, the extra 5 minutes given after the 3.5 hours, they're not going to accept it. So you'll lose points for that, right? And then the last half hour is for cleaning up. Your kitchen must be, you see, they all have their own kitchens here, right? They all work just the kitchen. You are supposed to clean this up, make sure all of your equipment is back there, sanitized, and looking as spotless as it was when it was given to you. So that is a big mark as well. And then at that point in time, your boxes, you are given ingredients at the beginning of the module 1, and you're responsible for those modules. If you look on the table, you're going to see boxes. You're responsible for keeping that box packed, clean, and prepped for the refrigerator to come back to you again tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Chef Edie. This is Chantal Legal Gibson, and stay tuned for more World Skills Barbados competition.
World Skills Barbados is a technical and vocational skills competition for young persons between the ages of 16 and 21. These skill areas are automotive technology, culinary arts, garment making, and hairdressing. These areas were chosen because these are the ones that the programs at the institutions that the young persons are at, these ones fit closely to the test projects of World Skills International. The competitors are judged against the test projects from World Skills International. These test projects are a list of performance tasks which the individuals need to compete within a specific time frame.
Ever since I was a kid, my dad was always either playing with a lawnmower or engine somewhere, somehow. So I was always outside to help him. That's how I got interested.
When I was a baby, I was around my father as he was a mechanic. Coming all up, he taught me everything. When he was racing, he showed me how to drive. My father helped me get my own workshop.
Well, I was inspired by my grandfathers, as from a young age I used to watch on as they work because both of them had workshops.
I enjoy working for cars, getting my hands dirty, doing electrical party work. The competition will benefit me, getting my name there, getting exposed to big companies in Barbados.
I think it was a great opportunity, and it also gave me a chance to showcase my individual skills.
I believe that it will definitely help me get a job faster because all that stuff goes on your resume.
So when I was younger, I used to get scrap fabric from the needle workers
office so that I can make clothes for my dollies. And when I was in secondary school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. After a couple of years, I finally came to Polytechnic to learn how to do it right. I know that the World Skills competition will benefit me because all of Barbados will know that I'm a finalist and people will know that I make clothes well.
I entered the World Skills Barbados competition because I wanted to be more experienced in this field. There are not a lot of job markets out there, and me being a garment maker, a fashion designer, that would be me putting myself to be an entrepreneur.
I got involved with cosmetology since I was small. It was a passion I always wanted, something that inspired me. Well, the things I like about my field is the creative part, the styling, like pinning up to the hair.
I entered the World Skills Barbados competition because I wanted the exposure and the experience. Technical vocational skills are very important because everybody cannot be a doctor or a lawyer. Doctors get their hairdo, lawyers get their hairdo also.
I entered the World Skills competition because it will teach me more than I knew before, and it will help me to go just beyond staying in the classroom and at home doing hair.
Food is my passion. I was raised in a very food-oriented family, and the cooking was one of the many things we did together. So my love started from there. I entered the World Skills Barbados competition as a way to stretch my limits and go beyond anything I've ever done before.
I always had a passion for cooking. I always see myself becoming a chef one day and owning my own restaurant. I entered the World Skills Barbados competition for recognition so I can be known.
I have a passion for cooking and I love it, I enjoy it. It's not only a job to me, it's like fun. The World Skills competition will benefit me in the ways of my time management.
It will benefit me because I will see my skills under pressure and I can work on them and see what I'm weak in or strong in, and in the long run, it will be nice on my resume, so I'm going for it.
Technical and vocational skills speak to the skills that are necessary for an individual to perform competently in a job role. They also enable an individual to start and manage their business. World Skills Barbados creates an avenue for young persons to market themselves, to basically show off their skills, improve their employability.
World skills.
Thank you. Water? Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. And I'm sure you can tell that it's time for the restaurant service competition here at World Skills Barbados 2020.
And welcome back. This is Chantal Lee-Gaugusten, and I'm here with the skill advisor, Mr.
Roderick Prescott.
For the restaurant
Service, restaurant service skill area.
So, Mr. Prescott, give us a brief overview of the modules that will be covered over this area.
Yes, well, today we would have had the barista module this morning, and that would have encompassed classic coffee service, a signature coffee service, which is a recipe designed specifically by the competitors, and they also had a specialty coffee service. So this evening they've transitioned now to the fine dining module, and the fine dining module encompass now wine knowledge, where they are questioned by the judges on their competence in terms of being able to identify the grape varietals and characteristics of the varietals from the different regions, wine regions in the world. And they will then commence with the technical component of it by going into the mise en place. They have 1 hour for preparation. In the industry, we call it mise en place. But people would just not use the term preparation for service. And this is where now they polish their glasses, they get their glasses, and you can see Jay Paris in there polishing his glasses. So they'll polish their cutlery, polish their glassware, do their napkin folds, and set their tables for service.
With regards to the napkin folds, are there any special techniques or any special skills that we will see our competitors displaying today?
Yeah, well, the competitors would use a variety of different napkin folds depending on the occasion. So, for example, we had casual dining yesterday where they had to all fold 10 different napkin folds. So, depending on the occasion, whether it's a casual dining environment or a fine dining or a banquet dining environment, you would see that the candidates would select a different napkin fold to suit the occasion. So the napkin folds we would see here today would be like example, Jay, I see Jay has done a candle. And Sherry, she has done a bishop's mitre. So the more elegant type of napkin folds you would see being used for the fine dining module.
I see Jay Paris here setting out some glasses, and we have like 3 different glasses on one section. Can you just
Yep.
break it down and let us know the purpose for each of these glasses?
Yes, so for his table now we have the water goblet, which is placed to the tip of the main knife, and we also have then to the right of that the white wine glass, and typically the wines we go with white wines to red, so the white wine would be to the right, and then the red wine, which would be served later down during the dinner, to the top.
Okay, so what are the main focus that these competitors would have in terms of grading for presentation? What would be some of the things that you're looking to see from each competitor?
Right, so as relates to the skill areas, part of their wine knowledge, they also had to decant a bottle of wine, and they would be graded on that particular skill area. This is where a bottle of wine may have sediment in the bottle, and they have to separate the wine which they would serve to the guests from the wine which would be left in the bottle with the sediment. So that's one area. Then as it relates to the mise en place and the table settings, what the judges would be looking for would be alignment. So if you have a table of 4, which the competitors have today, they will be looking at the alignment of one cover to the next cover, which is directly opposite. So everything must be in line. Glasses have to be uniformed and presented quite well on the table. The napkin folds need to be sharp and crisp, and the cutlery, they have to use the correct cutlery for the menu which will be served this evening.
With regard to this area, how many young people do you see getting involved in terms of looking to compete on the world skill level within this competition?
Yes, well, for restaurant service is still quite in the infancy stage in Barbados. This is the second World Skills Barbados where we have had the restaurant service competition, and that would have started in 2018. And then this year, 2020, this is the second time we're having the restaurant service competition. Typically, people gravitate to the culinary. Everybody loves culinary. Everybody wants to be the next Gordon Ramsay, and everybody loves to be the celebrity chef. But you find now that with this avenue opening up for World Skills, a lot more persons or students from the various institutions are interested in the restaurant service competitions.
Now, we just saw some shots of Jay Paris with some dishes out. Can you just tell us a little bit as to the side dishes that we saw in the exhibit just now?
Right, so with fine dining, the competitors will have to not only serve but also prepare in front of the guests a lot of the items that they will be serving. And this is part of the Garridon service, which is part of the curriculum for many of them in their programs, whether it be at BCC or BVTB. And this is where, as I said, they prepare items. So on the menu this evening, items being prepared will be the Caesar salad, traditional Caesar salad. Then we have, right, and then we have the beef stroganoff, which they will perform in front of the guests as well, and we will get to see some of their techniques in flaming, flambe, and then finally they have to prepare a cheese plate for the customers.
So what do we have to look forward to from these competitors today as the day progress?
Yes, what we're going to see is some very technical skills. As I said earlier, the flambe, that's going to be a highlight. That is something that many customers like. It creates a bit of the wow factor for a lot of people when they see the flames and they add the brandy into the flambe pan and they flambe the beef. And then the interaction, because it's restaurant service, we can't forget the service component of the competitors as they interact with the guests and not just putting down food or putting down beverages in front of customers, but creating a memorable experience.
So thank you so much, Mr. Prescott. And I am Chantal Legal Gibson. Stay tuned for more World Skills Barbados.
And that's it for action on day 3, World Skills Barbados 2020. I'm sorry, we have to sign off for today. I'm getting ready for my meal. Our people are ready. I'm ready. See you tomorrow, guys.
World skills for young and proud Bajans. World skills, creativity and innovation. World skills that shape our world-class workforce today. Be leaders in all we do. Building up our economy, Barbados we will improve. World skills, 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 world skills for